I won't get fancy with this one. Play a thing. Although I did put a Mark Finn's picture up.
Yeah, I saw that.
Good old Mark. I think he's. I had a bunch of friends. EJ Fettis, Nancy Sen, and Mark, and I think my friend John Rossetti also was in on this. But they all told me to watch Letterkenny, and I was like, yeah, whatever.
Oh yeah, that's what I hear. It's a good
And
show.
I got to like it had been on for like 6 years before I watched it, and of course they were
Yeah.
all right. It's perfect. I love that show. It's all like I spent some time in rural Vermont, which is just basically South Canada. So like everybody,
Yeah.
all those archetypes on that show, I was like, oh my god, I know everybody. I know every single person in the show, so I instantly liked it. So he just told
Yeah.
me today that like Shoresy season 5 is finally on. They
Oh,
put it
nice.
out at Christmas for Canada. Crave, I think their TV cable thing.
Okay.
It's they also had like Star Trek before everybody else. Anyway,
Okay.
I was like, come on, man, we're America. I'm like, all right, I'll wait till February to watch it. And
Yeah, yeah.
so that's what that was about. I started watching it today, which I have to say, because Tenet, well, I'm ready for Tenet, kind of. Let's just put it that way. It's befitting.
Okay.
It's befitting the film. I spent a little too much time watching Shoresy before I started Tenet, and I only made it halfway because I was watching it like 3 minutes at a time and trying to figure out what was going on.
Yeah.
And we have a Facebook buddy, Daniel Thrawn, who's doing his own work. He's a pretty good director, actually. He's a good independent guy, and I really admire his take on movies. And he's like, "Bro, this is great." And he gave me a little roadmap of how to dig it and explained why I didn't like it, having seen it once already.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I'll get into in a second, but I want to hear because it's a function of the narrative of the film, and I didn't see it, and I feel like a moron. And
Okay.
Daniel's like, "Hey man, don't step in that dog shit right there." And I was like, "Oh, is that what that is? That's dog shit? Oh shit!" Like it's that obvious, and I didn't see it. So
Yeah.
all right, so hit me. I'm ready to go. Everybody knows what this movie's about, right?
I mean,
Maybe not.
we can only hope. We can only hope.
Why don't you give them the TV guide version of what this is?
TV guide version. Okay. Basically, there is a possible nuclear slash end of human existence threat, and they're working to
How are
find
you
it.
not leading with Denzel Washington's son lives his life backwards? Like that's the TV guide version. It's not like, oh hey, it's like tonight, Saturday night. You'll not believe this. You can see
Oh,
people
yeah, yeah.
walking backwards out of a room. Anyway, I love that John Washington from I think that's his name, right? John. He's
John
from
David Washington. Yeah.
John David. He's I knew him from Ballers, and
Yeah.
I thought he crushed that. I thought he was better than The Rock in The Rock's own show.
Oh
And
yeah, he was. I mean, well, I mean, he was
he
definitely.
was.
Yeah,
I
he was
I
definitely
think.
one of the. Yeah, he no. I mean, Ballers might be his best work.
Think about
You
that
know.
for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but so anyway, I made it halfway through the movie. They're up to the part where I don't know. Kenneth Branagh was messing around with his wife.
Okay.
He's they did the scene where he shoots her with the inverted bullets, and
Oh, that's where you stopped.
they can see both of what's going on. No, like a little after, like the end of that whole scene.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
kind of can't. I started the next scene. I kind of can't remember what it is, but basically where he goes, yeah, man, like the new guy, Kyle or whatever his name is, goes, yeah, man, like if you see yourself leaving, then you're good.
Yeah.
You know that scene. So
Yeah.
whatever, that's what I made it up to. And I mean,
Okay.
I saw it once already. I know what happens, and
Yeah.
I watched the film. It's really kind of neat because I'm having kind of a Tenet experience with it. Like
Okay.
I lived it once one way, and now I'm living it another way. It's
Yeah.
not forward and backward because of time still works the same way here,
Yeah.
but my perspective is wildly different, and I really have to thank Daniel because he said a couple of like really incisive things that I just went pop pop in my head, and And I thought that was cool. And it spoke to Shorzy a little in that first episode as he's mentoring a kid.
Yeah.
And did you see it, the new one, the new season? Or do you not watch
Oh, I
that?
haven't even started watching Letterkenny.
Yeah, don't worry about it. But it's just he's a hockey player and he's mentoring a kid, but he's had like 11 years of adventures that the audience has all seen. So we know that it's a really cool story to tell because Shorzy's a fuck up, but now he's like running things,
Yeah.
and he's doing really well. And it's because he lived this life of fuckheadedness, right?
Mhm.
And so he said, "Hey, look, man, just you know, uh, he helps the kid, and his girlfriend says, "Well, how did you know what to tell him? Because you're an idiot." He goes, "Oh, my older brother used to deal with this with me, and he would put things in a really concise way and allow me to understand it." And I was like, "That's totally what Thrawn did for me just now." I
Nice.
was like, there's this big miasma of nuance and complexity, and he's like, "Yeah, just look at that and look at that," and I was like, "Oh." It's like he just was like, "Hey, man, they make these things called maps. Here's how you find where you're going." And it's just that screenplay is different from the map of narrative usually,
Oh, I would imagine.
don't you think? I mean, you've seen movies, you have an idea. There's act 1, act 2, and act 3, right?
Right.
That's not this movie.
Um,
I mean, it is
no, not
kind
really.
of. It
Yeah.
is. And that's how I watched it the first way, and that's why I didn't like it.
Mhm.
Because I was just following protagonist. I mean, the guy doesn't even have a name. He's the protagonist. So, like, literally everything surrounding the movie put me off of it,
Mhm.
Like, there's the coronavirus. Nolan's going, "This is the movie that everybody's going to endanger their lives to go see." And I was like, "Hey, man, that's not a good take right now."
No.
It's a joke now, but like it wasn't back then. He was like, "No, risk your actual lives to go see this brilliant thing." And I was like, I don't know. And then they ended up releasing it on, I forget who had it, but
Well, I think HBO Max, because
was it
the whole
HBO
we were
Max?
like, "Oh, we're gonna stream it," and he's like,
That's what it
"No."
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like there was all that revolving around it, and then I just watched it, and it's a pretty demanding movie. And so kind of half paying attention to it with your teenage kid running around and being all bummed up that you've been stuck in your house is not the way to approach this movie.
No, no.
So it's really funny for me as an audience member because I have pretty good memory. I've I've read so many books. I only have read like 3 or 4 of them again because I remember the plot, and I remember how it made me feel, and I remember the writing and stuff. So I don't really feel the need to address anything ever again.
When you
But I hated this so much. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to watch it. So that's when you suggested it. I'm like, let's go see. And then, man, I'm in a different headspace, and I'm going to watch this movie 30 times. I got to finish Shoresy season 5 first.
Well, the first time you watched it, did you watch it in theaters or did you watch it at home?
No, I watched it at home.
I will say this was the type of film I would have enjoyed it more if I saw it in the movie theater.
Oh, yeah? It would have
Yeah.
made me insane. I would have got up about halfway through and asked for my money back because that sound is fucked up.
Yeah, that's the thing is
I
like,
understand why,
yeah.
but what's the thing for you?
No, I agree with you on the sound. I had to put subtitles on.
Yeah.
I had to put subtitles on because a lot of what they were talking about, I'm just like, I'm missing words. And
Right,
I'm not
exactly.
capturing the whole conversation. So I'm just like, what the hell's going on?
So before I saw it, even I read some press with Nolan. He's like, I did that on purpose, and I was like, you pretentious twat.
Yeah.
That, and I understand the experiment, right? That he wanted to make a movie that was about the vibe, and not, page 1 to fade to black,
Yeah.
and that's cool, except that's not how we watch movies. And like I was when I was telling Mimi about it at the time, I was like, hey, I'm of the age where like when Dune came out in 1984, That I was in Worcester. It wasn't even like a really big city. It's the second largest city in New England, but like, no, it's not New York or Boston or LA or whatever. It was a little warm town, And we went to go see Dune on opening night, and they're handing out this 2-page thing. There's a glossary of terms in case you haven't read the book, right? So you
Okay.
know what Arrakis is and like Muad'Dib and all that shit.
Yeah.
And I thought that was great. And in the
All right.
80s, they used to do stuff like that. 2010 had like a little booklet that they handed it out to you, like if you your dad probably knows 2001, but here's what's up. And I really feel that this movie would have benefited from that, because I went in thinking it's going to be just a regular movie, and it's not. And so if you're expecting cake and you get a lobster, well, that's cool, except kind of have to swap your expectations midstream.
Yeah.
Sometimes that doesn't work. So anyway, that was a really long and Larry way of saying, hey, thanks for suggesting this, because I would never have watched this in a million years. That's how much I did not understand that the first time, and now I'm like, that's pretty good. I loved John David Washington, but I didn't have an appreciation for Elizabeth Debicki back then. And we just watched over the holidays. We watched Man from U.N.C.L.E., second season of Night Manager, and then not Guardians of the Galaxy, something else she was in. Oh, Man from U.N.C.L.E. I don't know, I forget. But it was just really funny. Like in 4 days, we saw her in 3 things that we didn't think were related. We were just like, oh, feel like Man from U.N.C.L.E.? Yeah, right on. Oh,
yeah, yeah.
girl. And now I think she's a really good actress, and she crushes it in this one.
She's great. She has this like really, and it makes sense why they got her to play Princess Diana. She has this elegant beauty. So when I see her, the way she carries herself, she's very lovely.
Tall and wispy.
And blonde.
Not my kind of thing, but I wouldn't argue with you. Of course, she's very attractive, and she can sell a scene.
Yeah. I mean, she did her part. She did her part. I love Kenneth Branagh, but I felt like Kenneth Branagh felt flat for me.
Yeah.
And
do you know which Chris Pine movie he was the bad guy in? The Jack
we
Ryan
talked about this before, because
Shadow Agent.
I wanted to see the Jack Ryan movie where he's the bad guy in it, and he directed the movie, and you're like, don't do it, don't waste.
Yeah, it's just average, but he's playing the exact same part with the exact same accent.
That's what it looks like. Yeah,
he's just a Russian crazy guy. This one's plutonium. The other one's something else, but it's the same thing. Yeah. And I'm like, come on, man. I don't know. He's a better director than an actor, I think.
I agree with that. But I mean, like, I hate to say it, but I think the person that really made the movie probably was Robert Pattinson.
Well, it's kind of his story, right? I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
Are you in on all the conspiracy stuff and everything?
No.
That he's the little kid?
Oh, okay.
I kind of like that one.
Yeah.
That they've known each other forever, but they can't tell each other because they're living backwards.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. Anyway, what else did you enjoy or not enjoy, or what are you eating? I always give you shit about what
pretzels.
Pretzels. Is that your preferred pretzel form?
Not exactly, but I mean,
yeah. What are you? Do you like the twist? Do you like the sticks? Do you like the rods?
I mean, I like them all, but I mean, I suppose just the classic pretzel shape, but like the small mini ones.
The small crunchy ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretzels are pretzels, right? If you get them in a bag like that. So I don't really care about the form, but if you're going to eat a pretzel, I love those.
Oh, yeah.
Those big hot ones, the soft ones.
Oh, the soft ones, yeah. They make the
slather it with mustard.
They make the mini ones. There's like these mini pretzel bread or whatever.
Yeah.
and
Yeah, soft
they're soft.
pretzels are about that big around.
Well, no, these are
Throw them in the freezer.
like minis. So they're
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, yeah. And
That would
there's
just make
they
my
sell
mouth tired.
they sell them with like there's one where you can get like the nacho cheese or whatever, the cheese pack. You can dip it in the cheese.
Hmm.
And then they sell it without the cheese, which I mean, you give me some mustard, I pour some mustard on it, and it's perfect.
I love how you're like, you're just ready to start talking about anything in the middle of a conversation. All right, here's how I eat my pretzels.
Yeah, but
That
yeah,
cast
no,
though, that cast was good.
I mean, you know what it is, this movie. It's a good movie. It's a good movie, but it might be my least favorite Nolan film.
Oh, I couldn't rate them. They are
Yeah,
all my least favorite,
yeah.
except for
And
Inception and Prestige. Those two movies are great.
usually, I think Nolan is very good when he comes to casting his movies.
Uh-huh.
Part of the reason I think this is the weakest film is because I don't think he cast the movie well.
Huh.
You know, and John David Washington, to me, in my opinion, like he wasn't bad, but he wasn't great. You know,
But how can you tell? I mean, I have a little trouble talking about this film because it doesn't really. All my usual critiques don't really apply.
His delivery compared to everybody else in the film, it's like it's slightly off or it's slightly different. Like he doesn't. It's like his delivery doesn't mesh with everybody else's delivery. It's almost as if he's trying to pull off not Shakespeare, but like it's almost like he's trying to stand out. You know,
I agree with you, but I think that's a deliberate choice, and I think it totally works for the movie if you think about it for 2 seconds.
it didn't work for me.
He's
It
on a
just
different
it was a
time.
distraction for me, I think.
Well, I get that. The whole fucking movie's a distraction, right?
Yeah.
Like he did that on purpose.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's always going to be the undercurrent of whatever we say.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a feeling you could say the same thing to me about something that I like. Is that like, well, yeah, really?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but that's because it's distracting, and the distraction just works for me now because Thrawn explained it to me.
I love.
God bless that young man.
I love the story. I love what Nolan was trying to go for, what he was doing. I love time travel. So the way he was doing this, I was like, okay, it's different. It's different, and it's great to be different. But at the same time, I don't think it.
But at the same time, pretzel nuggets.
Pretzel nuggets, yeah. But yeah, I mean, the music was great. I love the music.
Hey, let me interrupt you on this cascade of stuff because I love time travel movies. Time travel movies are my favorite. And that scene in Endgame where they're like, okay, like, so this is time travel now. It's not like Back to the Future time travel. It's not like, they went through everything. It's like, what are the rules of the time travel? And they totally like hung a lantern on the fact that you have to explain that in every time travel movie because every time travel movie has different ways that time travel works, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was when I was kind of like, until Thrawn said, hey man, don't follow the linear stuff, just follow the plot, because the linear stuff is action and you don't even really have to pay attention to that until cars start driving backwards and stuff, and you're like, what the fuck is going on there? But it's great because in the film that's what the protagonist is thinking, right? But they don't really explain the time travel until halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, that didn't help in my understanding of the film the first time I watched it, because I kept like waiting, like, okay, I'm experiencing this thing. No one understands what he's doing. His screenwriters know what they're doing, but this is not working for me because it's so not the regular format. And instead of just I was just not in the headspace, because now a movie like that, I would just go, all right, man, like let's just sit back and let this wash over us and enjoy the trip that we're taking and not prejudging it. But with all the press, and I just interacted with stuff differently because when that movie came out, we hadn't been doing this for years, So I just my way of talking about film has been improved by chatting with you and Mark and Steve and all the cats on Facebook too. So always a student. Anyway, I can't even talk about the music, and I was just about to ask you, what did you think of the soundtrack? But it's so tied up in how he played with the sound mixing
Yeah.
that I kind of didn't get the joy that I usually get out of soundtracks.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's a really challenging movie, right? I think I
Yeah.
can say that. Like, old Larry would agree with new Larry about this. It's a challenging movie. But in the old days, Larry just wanted to like wave his beer at the asteroid the size of Texas, you know? And not, I think about movies. I'm not a fucking ham bone, you know, but sometimes for escapist entertainment, it was my fault. I just thought we were going to see this cool ass time travel movie.
Yeah.
And it is, but like that's not what you get out of it. That wasn't the point of it.
Right.
Anyway, I was excited. Were you excited to check it out? Did you watch it today after work, or when did you see it?
I was excited, but at the same time, like work's just been really crushing me lately. And so like last night, I'm enjoying this big meal as I'm watching the movie. And what's funny is you said like roughly where you kind of stopped because you didn't finish watching
Yeah.
it. I fell asleep. And I fell asleep right around that part.
Well, that's what I meant about it's not really 3 acts, it's only 2. But it's, I mean, it's like 2 movies put together. It's but it's forward and backwards, right? And so that's the part I just did not grok the first time I watched it. And because usually when you have 2 movies, it's like, well, there's basic training and then Vietnam. You know, it's like very clear that there's a before and an after. And this wasn't that. That it was the beginning and the end were going at the same time and meeting in the middle. Yeah. Which is pretty impressive. It's an accomplishment. It's an achievement. It's a hard trick that they made sure you realized was a hard trick. Like
I mean, I think
magicians do a quick thing and go, look, this is a hard trick, but I'm making it look easy.
Yeah.
He was just like, here's my trick, and it's a hard trick, and look at me suffer for my art. And I'm like,
Like, weren't we talking about Inception? And then like the way everything was broken down in Inception, like the timing.
Yes.
You know? And
yes,
so like
just
just like how detailed and how like Nolan, like the way he, you know.
I think I remember you saying something like it was made in a lab. And that's kind of how I feel about this one, that, you know, he went out and made a great meal, but there's something off-putting about it that the chef did on purpose. You know? It's like, I get it now, but like you shouldn't have to work so hard to go, yeah, that was a good steak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. And I love the fact that, you know, there's a mention of Oppenheimer in this movie, and his following movie after this was Oppenheimer.
Yeah, wait, that wasn't his next movie. Like 1970.
Oppenheimer came out after Tenet.
Well, after, but it wasn't his next movie, was it?
After Tenet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't it 1917 was next?
No. He didn't do 1917. He did Dunkirk.
Dunkirk. And that was before this?
Dunkirk was before Tenet.
Huh. Man, I'm just messed up. I don't follow his career. Because
no, it's okay.
I don't dig on his movies. I don't dig on Leonardo DiCaprio movies either, but fucking Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Inception. Like Inception immediately became one of my top 5 movies ever because of that screenplay. So like,
yeah, I mean,
he can get me on stuff.
Inception. Yeah, I saw Inception in the movie theater, and like, I was just glued. I was just like watching this movie and trying to, as much as possible, pay attention to all the details, and just like, so like after me and my friends, we watched the movie, like we talked about it, and you know, at some point in the discussion, my friend had like forgot or wasn't paying attention to certain parts, and I had to tell him like, no, this happened in this scene and that scene, so that's why this happened, that happened. So then he was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
In the theater?
I mean, after the movie was done.
Oh, after. I was like, oh man, I would have broken both your skulls if somebody's sitting in front of me explaining the movie as it's going
No,
on.
no, I don't do that. I don't like talking during the movies. When I'm watching a movie, like I want to give it all my attention, which is why, like, that's why I think Tenet, which makes me curious, like, because the sound systems are better in the movie theater, so maybe I would have heard and understood like a lot of the
Not in
stuff that
my
was there.
house. That was part of what was filling me with dread, because I'd seen it, and I have my thing just tuned in to the acoustics of the room and my personal preferences. We have Walker's preferences and Mimi's preferences. So whenever you're sitting there watching TV by yourself, it's just a button click for setup for you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I watched 15 minutes and I'm like, this fucking sound. But then I was like, I'm in my room, at my own house. So I just turned the subtitles on, and instantly, like, all the tension just left my shoulders.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I was like, I'm sitting in my favorite chair, and I start doing this fucking movie, and then I'm like, all right. And then I was like, oh yeah, okay, right on. Anyway, I can't wait to experience the back half after this. That's when I'm going to eat dinner and watch the rest of this, because it's that good.
Yeah, so like when I fell asleep, I think I woke up around 1 a.m.
Oh, really? You were out for hours.
No, I mean for maybe an hour or two.
That's crazy.
And then like I woke up and I'm like, I finished the movie, but I feel so tired. And I looked at the clock and I'm like, okay, this is what time I have to be at work. I had to be at work on time today because we had an audit.
Oh no.
So I was like, I cannot be late because the
Dude,
boss
you're
is
not getting a break at all in life.
Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, how much time do I have left in this movie I need to watch? Okay, chances are I might have to take breaks. So instead of like, let's say I have like an hour left in the movie, I'm like, okay, I need to give myself 2 hours. Then I'm like, okay, then I got to give myself an hour to get ready for work, and then an hour to get to work. So I start doing all the math, and I'm like, okay, it's about 1 o'clock in the morning, 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, if I fall asleep at 2 o'clock in the morning and I set the alarm for 6, I get a solid 4 hours. And then, I probably didn't start watching it until like 6:30, 6:45 in the morning. But I managed to finish it. I knew I had to finish it because you know how my work schedule is. Like, I show up here after work.
That's why I'm like, you poor bastard. Life's not helping you out, is it?
But yeah, it's but I'm glad I watched it. I'm glad I finished it. I think I enjoyed the second half of the film a lot better than the first half. I will eventually go back and rewatch it, especially the first third of the film, because I didn't start putting on the subtitles until 2/3 of the way. And so
2/3 of the way through what?
Huh?
2/3 of the way through what?
The movie. Like, well, technically after the first 1/3, that's when I put the subtitles on. So the remaining 2/3 of the film I watched with subtitles.
Right. That's about what I did too. I was a little faster, but the same thing. I watched it for a while and I was like, oh yeah, you have this ability.
Yeah.
Turn this on, and all your tension goes away.
Yeah. But yeah, I think, I'm not a huge Robert Pattinson fan, but I'd say he was the best in the film. Maybe next best person in the film, even though it's not as big of a role. Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think those two guys really crushed it. John, like I said, I want to just say he was okay. Like, he wasn't bad, but he wasn't great.
I loved him. I thought he was great. I loved the whole, just because all the stuff that you were saying that you didn't respond to, I loved.
Yeah.
I was like, the fact that he's just sort of like low key, like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to play through anyway.
Yeah.
Was sort of like how I was feeling this time, like, and so before it was off-putting me, and now I felt like, well, I'm just going to join him on this ride and figure it out with him, instead of, I was trying to, the first time I watched it, I was trying to do the old Larry thing of like, yes, I'm entertained, or I'm not, I'll always find something cool to watch. So I was zeroing in on his performance because he's the protagonist. We're supposed to follow him. And then I realized that you've heard the term unreliable narrator, right? Where you can't trust a character what they're saying because they're presenting with all the confidence, but their role in the story is they're not strictly lying. You just can't rely on what they say is
Right.
correct for the
Right.
story. So I felt like he was an unreliable protagonist. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like within, not to get meta, because they didn't mean this in a meta way, but just for me sitting in there because of my interest in what I do and some skills I have. I try to like watch the film and enjoy all the stuff that's going on as it cascades towards its end 2 hours later in time, right? And it's not so obvious that like Memento, where you can re-edit it and watch it backwards and that works, right? It's not like that.
Well,
It's just
I haven't seen Memento.
oh really? You know,
Yeah.
we should do that next week as a like sort of a little time travel double feature thing.
Okay.
You know, sometimes we do the things with actors. Now we
Yeah.
can do this thematically and see if you respond, see if I respond to Memento a little better. And it's Guy Pearce, so
Yeah. I like
uh,
Guy Pearce.
yeah, so it'll be fine. Let me write that down. You wanna call that, because I think that's going to be a good swing.
Yeah. I mean, another. I mean, gosh. I mean, as a Nolan fan, like for years, I've told myself I need to watch this movie. I own it. I own the movie, and I
Yeah.
never got around to watching it.
All right. Well, now we'll do me going from like I don't care about Chris Nolan. We'll do back to back Nolans and see how he addresses certain themes in different films. It's cool. Well, that was only a half hour. I feel like I've said all I can say about that.
Oh well, I mean,
I don't know. Do you have something else you want to pick at? Like, part of this movie is it's a very singular experience, right? Like, this isn't the kind of movie like Porky's or something where you can go with like 5 buddies and split a bottle of Bacardi 151 and
yeah,
everybody buys big Cokes, and then you enjoy the film together. It kind of doesn't work that way. If I went to see this with a bunch of people,
yeah.
I would just be like, what the fuck was that? Yeah.
No, I think because when Inception first came out, that movie made you think as well. And even
Did
then,
it?
I talked to people, and people were just like, "I don't know what to think," or, I'm confused. And it's like he he went even further with this movie.
Yeah, I don't think if you're paying attention, Inception is pretty straightforward. You just have to
Yeah,
pay attention. You have to just keep track of a lot of weird shit. But
yeah,
those are the movies that I like, right?
yeah,
It rewards paying attention. But this is all the stuff about Inception, but changing the nature of how film unspools before your eyes, right?
yeah,
And so it's a pretty good magic trick when you think about it.
yeah,
I just think that he's just a little ahead of himself. The audience for this film, there's no way to market this film to tell everybody, hey, if you like big boobies and Bud Light and a pickup truck, maybe go see something else. There's no way to market it that way because the studio wants everybody. But man, is there a movie that's for English majors and nobody else? It's this one.
yeah,
And I was an English major, and even I was like, I needed some help to navigate it.
yeah, yeah.
But that made me feel good. That made me feel like I was a protagonist
Nice.
because he needed some help to navigate what was happening. He didn't really understand it at first.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was super disconcerting to me. I could talk a lot about the things that were off-putting in this movie.
Hmm.
The very first time when he's having the fight with one of the guys that's been inverted, and they're fighting backwards, it's
Yeah.
really well choreographed because you kind of don't get that at first
Hmm.
until somebody throws somebody over their shoulder, but they're grappling with them and they go that way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is so fucking weird that I kind of can't take it.
Yeah.
But it's not like, oh, they showed a severed head, or or something gross or something. It's just not in your experience, right?
Right.
And I don't think somebody who wasn't already a really good filmmaker would have even had that thought. Like, people run stuff backwards all the time to make people catch things and, shit. Like, I get running the thing backwards, but I don't think unless you were dealing with it in the editing bay, you would ever have that thought of like, what, I'd love to see a car chase where
Yeah.
time is backwards, or like just a simple fight in a hallway. But they just, so on that level, I really enjoyed it because they had to work really hard, which you wouldn't have to in a regular movie, right? Like, they have to plan out where they are in space and then do things backwards and then shoot it that way, so the resulting event looks like what he wants.
Well, it's funny you mentioned like the choreography, and in my personal experience, I feel like Nolan has always been horrible with choreography in films. And so, like Inception was pretty solid with choreography. His Batman films are horrible choreography.
I agree. You can just say his Batman films are horrible, and I would agree with
No,
that.
I'm not going to say they're horrible. Like,
I mean,
they're
one
they're
could
really
say
well
that.
acted, directed.
I would agree.
Just the action could have been better.
Those movies suck, Randall. They suck hard. The last 20 minutes of the last one is fine.
Which one?
Of the last one. What is it? It's not Begins and it's not
The Dark Knight Rises?
Rises, yeah.
No, I mean, the choreography is solid, but if you go to the beginning of the movie, though, like the choreography.
No, I agree with you. Oh, I totally agree with you. I'm saying, like, just all three films, everything sucks except the last 20 minutes of Rises. I like that. I like Batman gets a happy ending for fucking once. And Batman's still around and he's a cool guy named Robin. Like, give me 3 movies of that shit and I would love it. But just more Batman. I don't care about Batman. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't anymore. I really like superhero movies because when I go to films, I like to see stuff that you can't see by looking out the window, which is the end. I should say this for the end, but my summation of Tenet is that wins because, man, there's a movie that you can't see by looking out the window, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is excellent. Todd Gross goes, I can honestly say that I've never seen any of Nolan's Batman movies.
Wow.
The first one's fine. It's if you don't call it Batman. Some rich boy is getting trained to go do stuff, and Liam Neeson shows him how to do it. Okay, that's fine.
I will say this. I think part of the reason his Batman movies are good, in my opinion, is because he's got really, really good actors playing the villains, and I feel like they outshine Christian Bale's performance as Batman.
Right, but they're Batman movies, so that's a tick for why you should hate them. Yes, it's like, I get that you're only as good as the villain that you fight, but like, I even disagree about the actors. I think Liam Neeson is wasted. I think Gary Oldman is an excellent Commissioner Gordon, but but I enjoy his performance because I love the characters that are just in a different movie than everybody else. And that's him in that movie. He's there. He's talking to fucking Batman, but he's got a different view of what's going on than literally everyone else in that movie. And so I'm always drawn to those characters.
Well, I think at this point,
everybody's wasted, man. They're all wasted. Like, what is...
Well, I mean, I don't know. No, I don't think anybody is essentially wasted in his Batman films at all. Except maybe the female characters.
Well, so I just said those two.
Oh, yeah.
Eckhart's wasted. Come on, man.
No, what?
Cillian Murphy's completely wasted as a Scarecrow.
No, I'm gonna disagree with that.
I'll do you a favor because we're buddies. I'll just stop pointing out this thing that you like, how horrific it is to me. I'll just be like, yeah, man, go ahead. You enjoy that shit. There's no reason for me to poop on.
No, I think it's great.
Lots of people like those movies. I don't know. I just wanted to see Dark Knight Returns about 5 years after the comic came out, starring Clint Eastwood. That's all I wanted out of Batman.
Eastwood.
Yeah, just give me that. That's all I want out of Batman.
I would love to see Josh Brolin.
Now I just want Ben to do it. Like, just wait another 5 or 10 years and do it with Ben.
And do it with Ben.
Give
Yeah.
me that movie.
I don't know. After watching Brolin in Sicario, I'm like,
Yeah,
I want to
he's
see that
great,
dude
but
get Batman a shot.
don't give him Batman. Give him something cool to play, man. Batman's old and sad and tired now. Like, although I will say I'm kind of looking forward to Brave and the Bold. I want to, because that's not a Batman we've seen in live action, right?
Yeah.
Give me Batman who his teenage sidekick is his own kid. That has some resonance for me.
You know what I really want is I want Batman
You have
films.
to go fast because the
Yeah.
Spice Girls are playing in my head now.
Yeah.
Like,
I want
you know
Batman,
what I want? What I really, really want? What do you want, Randall? Oh, like,
I want Batman films in the style of Sin City, where I want 3 Batman stories in one movie.
oh, that's kind of cool.
And that way, if you do 3 Batman films and each Batman film has 3 stories, you're giving me 9 Batman stories to which you can actually progress Batman, and you can have Batman in 3 films go from like starting off as Batman to like, hey, I now have 2 or 3 Robins.
But why? Why would you do this? There's
I want
fucking
all the best.
70 Batman movies.
I want Batman's greatest hits comics and film. That's what I want.
Okay, that's cool. I
You
get
know?
it, but like, why though? There aren't. If you ever feel like a Batman movie, there's many Batmans to choose from.
It's just that, you can give me like one really long, good Batman movie, or you can give me 3 great short film Batman films in one film, to where I'm like, you're just giving me exactly what I need, right? Like montage scenes, right? So many movies now don't do montage scenes, and montage scenes are great because it progresses the character. You can have like a time montage. You can have somebody going through a period of their career in 3-4 years in a montage, and then you're establishing to the audience like, okay, he's no longer year 1 Batman, year 2 Batman. Now this guy's got, experience. He's a badass. He was already a badass, but he's more so now, like super expert. Like you're catching the audience up without having to do 3 movies. You've done it in half of a movie, and like,
I do.
That's just what I want. Like, we want Batman now, but I think it's important to show Batman when he starts off to where he gets to now.
Can I solve it for you?
Yeah.
The way that what you're asking for, the Batman's Greatest Hits anthology, has to be a show, man. If you do that in movies, it's not going to work.
I mean, it would be nice.
That's why I'm sick of fucking Batman movies, because everything's this fucking big ass thing, but it's all tied up in 2 hours, and I don't care.
Yeah.
Batman isn't tied up in 2 hours because Gotham's not cleaned up yet.
Yeah.
So just make Batman a fucking TV show, and then you can do that. Like, you can air out the whole Batman family and spend a whole season on fucking Oracle if you want. You know what I mean? It's like there's a rich thing to mine there, and they don't want to do TV because it's not as immediately a return on investment, Yeah. But I would make the argument the character's from 1938, right? I mean, you've had enough time to make the money you're gonna make. Why not take a bit and make a really good Batman TV show for a minute? Because all I've been hearing my entire life is, no, we're not going to do Batman as a TV show. Never seen that. Here's Gotham, but Batman's not in it. Like, what the fuck?
Well, so the problem is that Warner Brothers still doesn't have the live action Batman TV rights, I believe.
No, is that true still?
Yeah. Originally it's Fox, and
now I know all about it, man. I've been trying to get a red phone forever.
Yeah.
But they worked out their deal that the TV show finally came out on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever. So
the Adam West.
Yeah. So that's the problem because of 20th Century Fox, right? And live action TV. So, like, if they figured that out, why don't you just go, look, Lenny, we can make a lot more money by doing new shit. And so maybe you have to team up with another studio, but half of a lot of money is still a lot of money. right?
I agree. I agree.
I don't know.
I
Anyway,
mean, I'd have to be a lawyer, I think, to figure it out.
I love Taj just crushing it today. The problem is Batman Almeida has become this grim, dark jerk who can beat anyone, including god level characters this morning. Agreed. I say this to Walker every time Absolute Batman comes out, and he performs this kabuki thing instead of just letting me read it. He tells me what happens and signs and stick figures and arrows
Oh,
coming through a
dude, I
bunch and
gotta
shit.
see that.
He
This
just really likes Absolute Batman, and I just sit
Kabuki
there and
Batman. There you
I
go.
feel like I'm a bad dad because I'm like, bro, yeah, okay, glad you like it. He's like, well, you're gonna like Absolute Wonder Woman. I don't think I'm gonna, man.
You know what bugs me is that I don't know what it is, man, but it's like just these really young, boring guys love a realistic take on Batman, and they're just like, "Oh, it's the greatest thing ever," and it's like you guys haven't even read the comic books, like you haven't even experienced Grant Morrison Batman, you know. And like Grant Morrison Batman, dude, like Grant, when he did his JLA run, when he started writing Batman, that's when he was basically showing you, like, hey, Batman, this is why he's part of the Justice League. This is why he contributes. This is why he is who he is and why he's really the best, you know?
I
And
do,
yeah,
but
and it's
what?
like,
But why? Who cares, right? I mean, you can pick out a favorite thing of Batman since 1938, right? The Steve Englehart, Marshall Rogers Batman
yeah,
is fucking crazy good.
yeah,
Forget Neil Adams, that's crazy good.
yeah,
Give me a fucking Jim Aparo like Law and Order
yeah.
TV show with
But
Batman on the docks punching
but
people.
movie wise, right? Movie wise,
That's
what is the common Batman that we constantly seem to be getting now?
Well, I don't pay attention to Batman movies because they suck. So I'm not sure I could answer that. Well, you tell me.
Well, I mean, like you have everyone just going crazy over Matt Reeves' Batman,
No,
which
but
is
no, that's not true. Not everyone is going crazy over
no,
that,
okay,
man.
not everyone's going
That
crazy, but
movie
like,
blows so hard. Sorry.
yeah, I agree. I
What
agree. I
happens in
mean,
that movie? I can't tell because you can't see anything.
yeah,
It's just fucking that movie sucks.
it to me, from my point of view, it's just Matt Reeves trying to copy Christopher Nolan, and it's like, no, like Christopher Nolan knocked it out of the ballpark. You have to go one step above Nolan for people, and he
See,
didn't even have to do that.
I disagree.
All
Nolan's
he got was
Batman
Robert
movies are not.
Pattinson, which all these dudes are
Oh,
like
dude,
thirsty over him
you
now.
just said you have to beat Christopher Nolan, and like the shittiest Adam West episode beats Christopher Nolan. Those movies are not.
Eh,
Those movies are not good Batman movies, and the fact that you think that is crazy funny to me. It's because
for the
it.
take that Nolan's going for the realistic, modern Batman. Um, I mean, just the
Okay.
story, the actors that he got, the performance, everything. Uh, if the movie wasn't called Batman, people would still love that movie.
No, no, I'd hate it, but I wouldn't have seen it. The only reason I saw those is because they were called Batman. Look,
Yeah.
Chris agrees with me. Happy birthday, Chris.
Happy birthday, Chris.
It was February 23rd, and I'm just I was telling Mimi I just kept saying happy birthday to Chris, and she's like, but his birthday is a couple days ago, and I'm like, yeah, and she goes, you're gonna say happy birthday to him every time you see him online from now on until like summer. I'm like, yeah, you know who you married. So I wasn't gonna, but Mimi said that, so now I have to. So happy birthday, Chris. When's your birthday, Randall?
December 15th.
Oh, that's right. You told me that. It's a day before my mom's. Here's a good one. The animated Harley Quinn series, who the director of most episodes is Brandon McKinney, personal friend of mine. I'm so happy for that guy. He is crushing it. We published well, he did play we did Planet of the Capes together. But
Nice.
I'm trying to think of the Warren Ellis book he did. Something Honey. Switchblade Honey. Man, that's bad. I guess it's been so long. I published that book. I can't remember the fucking title. That's insane. Anyway, he showed me a couple of storyboards that when he was just I ran into him. I was like, "What are you working on?" He goes, "Oh, storyboarding for Harley Quinn." And then like fucking 6 weeks later, he sends me a text. Man, I'm directing for Harley Quinn now. And I went,
Oh, nice.
"Ay ay ay!" That's I'm just really proud of him. I mean, I love it when your friends like attain what they're working for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, in the animated Harley Quinn, they make Batman funny, poke fun of his
Yeah.
fears. That's what you were talking about, though, the Grant Morrison stuff. Because
Well,
Batman was
so
hilarious
Grant
in
Morrison's
JLA.
Batman to me isn't funny. So what's great
Oh
about
wait,
Harley?
I'm thinking of J.M. DeMatteis. So when you said the JLA,
Yeah.
the Justice League JLU or whatever it was, when he
Oh yeah.
was
Well,
punching
jail
Guy
was it
Gardner and making
Justice League
jokes with
International?
fire and
I think.
ice, and yeah,
Yeah.
JLI, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And even then, I don't think Batman was funny in that run, but how they used him in it was funny. Like the whole Guy Gardner getting punched by Batman, like one punch knockout, like that to me forever is like monumental. Like that's a monumental scene.
I
And
just love that whole take because, but yeah, man, see, I that whole time you were talking about Grant Morrison, I thought you were describing the earlier one because they
no,
did the
no,
same thing. They explained like just through action, you understood why he was in the Justice League, even though it was like grim, dark adventure, Avenger of the Night. I only work alone, plus these 75 other people in my Batman family. But you know, they're
yeah,
like, you kind of get it why he's in the JLA, right? Because he wrote a cool Batman because what we get now, I think it was Todd, it said, yeah, grim dark jerk, right? The way modern Batman is written is why I've given up on Batman. Because Batman fucking sucks because they write him without hope. And that's the fucking opposite of Batman. Everybody thinks Superman's the guy with lightness and hope and everything. And Batman is like, fucking kill my parents. But it's they're the same fucking character. They just made different
yeah.
choices.
I
Batman's the
think
guy. I've told you this, right? Batman's the guy with hope. He's got a kryptonite ring because he's gonna have to take out Superman, but he hopes he doesn't have to.
right,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Of
Like
course, no, yeah,
that's
yeah.
the thing
I think the reason,
everybody misses.
yeah, I think what people will do is they associate Batman like how he's a detective. He works in Gotham. Gotham's so filled with crime and murder. So like if you put yourself in the perspective of like a police officer or a paramedic who is constantly seeing bad shit over and over and over again, your point of view, the way you see things, your attitude starts to shift and change. So like the whole like, the idea of like Batman would be like, oh, humans suck, people suck, this whole thing sucks, but I'm going to go there and I'm going to still keep fighting it. And like I think that's their point of view from like what if they were Batman and what if they were going through these experiences. They're bringing their sense of realism to it.
Yeah, I got you.
So that's my only guess is that's why they would think that this is the why Batman acts the way he does is because he sees it and he sees it all the time versus all the other heroes. They don't see it. Like Superman's seen some bad stuff, but he doesn't see it every day the way Batman does.
Yeah, except Batman, I would make the argument that he doesn't see it that way because he sees it like, yeah, something happened to me, and there was no one there to help. But
Yeah.
Commissioner Gordon came and gave me a jacket and told me this is all fucked up, but
Yeah.
at some point somebody can help. And so he just decided to be the guy that's going to help. That's
Yeah.
a fucking hopeful way of looking at stuff. It
Yeah.
could be in service of trauma and agony and shit, but
Yeah.
and that's the part. That's why I hate normal people because everybody just sees the frosting and they don't care about the cake.
Yeah.
The frosting, nobody.
Well, they're not thinking outside the box.
They're not thinking about the box at all. They're thinking about the stuff on the outside of the cake. Not the box the cake came in until later because there might be frosting that rubbed off on the cardboard. It's like,
Yeah.
no, dude, you need the whole experience, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Frosting.
I mean, and this is why I like Morrison's Batman because he takes it up the next, step, the next notch,
That's why I
Uh,
like Chris's thing though. That they operate. They operate at different times of the day.
yeah,
I don't know though. In the comics,
yeah.
Adam West is always running up the stairs at 11 o'clock to go get lunch with Chief O'Brien or whatever his name is.
Well, I mean, like one of my
Chief
favorite
O'Hara.
adaptations, of course, is the Bruce Timm Superman and Batman. I loved it when they did the world's finest 3-part episode where the Joker is going after nice.
Batman.
The Joker is going after Superman, and Batman's trying to explain to Superman like he's not like these other villains that you face off against. He's different, like he's really bad. You know, the whole
Yeah.
like expect the unexpected. And Batman was right. Just the way the story was constructed and what Superman was dealing with. But then what's funny too is I love it like from Lex Luthor's point of view when he's telling the Joker like how do you want me, how are you going to take down Superman when you can't even take down a mere mortal like Batman? And the way Joker gets in Lex Luthor's face and he's like there's nothing mere about that mortal. Like I love it because I mean from the Joker's point of view he's just like he's not a regular guy. You can't,
Okay.
that's a guy that you can't just beat. Superman on the other hand, he's predictable. That guy I can beat. And so I love the way they did the breakdown on it.
Gotcha.
But
I
like,
don't mind those cartoons either. They're
oh, I
fine.
love them, man. Like if I
The
were a
Gray
billionaire,
Ghost one is great.
which one?
The Gray Ghost.
Oh, Adam West is the Great Ghost. Yeah, I
Yeah.
have that action figure too.
That's a great. That's a powerful episode. I like that.
Oh, very, because it's a father-son relationship,
Yeah.
but then it's also like the Great Ghost was like a hero and forgot like people looked up to him. And so like I love like when you hear Kevin Conroy's voice as Bruce Wayne, he's like, the Great Ghost was a hero of mine. I used to watch him with my dad, stuff like that, and then when you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
like, like
Have you read
it's just
this
so
one
good.
that Todd was talking about? Scott Snyder's bit.
Oh, had a bit running where Batman considered a contingency where if he died, a clone would be created, but it would be infused with his trauma, so it could function like him. Oh, gosh.
I'm kind of interested in the Batman getting cloned without the trauma and see what happens. He would just
For a second there,
like go be
I
a
thought,
lawyer or something. I think.
yeah. Well, that story almost sounds like what Chip Zdarsky was doing. I didn't get to read all of Snyder's New 52 Batman run, so I don't recall about the clone and all that stuff.
So you're
Yeah, I
saying
don't
Todd's a
recall
liar?
that. So I mean, I eventually need to go back and like try to
You're
read that
straight
whole
up
run.
calling Todd a liar to his face, man.
No, I'm just saying I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying
around.
that the description of it reminds me a little bit of what I think Zdarsky was trying to do with his run.
Yeah, I know Chip from the old days, and it cracks my kid up because I don't really read. I'll flip through comics that he has, but I'm reading
Yeah.
Cap because Chip's doing it, and it's great.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, Chip
I love
is.
Captain America, and they got Shield coming back. It's like, how do I not read these?
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean he's one of the best writers that Marvel has right now,
This is
man.
actually an excellent point. Why would he put his clone through trauma just to get the same desired effect?
I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that. I mean, there's also the theory that people are like, like Bruce Wayne Batman. There's another version of that Batman where they're just like, no, he's actually crazy. So like that idea of like there needs to be a Batman. It's almost Frank Miller level of crazy Batman writing.
I just think Batman's crazy. I don't think you have to say. I think actual real canon Batman is crazy. He has to be. That's fucking bananas, man.
I just think he's motivated.
Yeah, to a crazy level, a insanity defense level.
I mean, it only looks crazy because when you really think about it, there's characters with powers and abilities that are crazy beyond him. And so like in the real world, like if a Superman existed, like we'd be like, that's crazy, So like for Batman to exist in that world, it's easy to say like he's crazy because everything around him is crazy.
I gotcha. Hey, Timmy shows up with where's our live action Plastic Man movie? I don't need it.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
I was rooting
I
for
love
Bill Hader,
Plastic
man.
Man,
I would
but
love to see Bill Hader as Plastic Man.
all right, if you full on make it like how it should be, with like wibbly wobblies in it, his fat sidekick guy, and
Yeah.
do all that fucking banana shit. Okay, give me that, and have Kyle Baker write it. I loved his comic.
Okay.
All right, man, that's it. We'll tie it up. 6:30. Thanks for chatting with me.
Yeah, thank you.
With us, Memento, you own it, so that's good. I felt really happy that I owned Tenet because that is not streaming, and I didn't feel like paying $4 for it. And I was like, oh, and then Mimi goes, oh, we have that. And I'm like, oh, that's right, because I bought it to see if I would like it outside of the streaming thing, and then I never watched it. So that was cool. Like years later, I'm like, oh yeah, fucking have it for once. That's great. Anyway,
I hope I can find my copy, but I suppose worst case scenario, if I can't, I'll just buy it digitally.
Yeah, Steve has said if you don't like a movie he recommends, he'll give you the $4. And so just tell him that he recommended that to you, and he'll pay.
Okay.
He'll go, oh, okay, Randall, I guess. I don't know. All right, so here you go. Memento next time, Tuesday. Right, I mean Wednesday is at 8:30 your time.
Yeah.
But
what took me so long to watch Tenet?
Do you have an answer for that? What did take you so long? Just it's a lot of content, right?
Yeah, it's.
I almost just ended the stream just so people would go, he never gave us the answer.
Yeah, you pull the Nolan, right, where it just cuts off, like you don't